Hi, I'd like to provide an update on the DOL initiative with regard to fee disclosure to both plan fiduciaries and plan participants. We talked in the past about the DOL proposing to extend the effective date of the 408(b)(2) regulation, the one that requires covered service providers to provide certain disclosures to plan fiduciaries. The DOL had originally proposed extending the effective date of that regulation until January 1st of 2012 from its previously stated date of July 16th of this year, 2011. The DOL asked for comments. ASPPA's Government Affairs Committee filed a comment letter asking for an extension of the effective date to 1 year after the final regulation is released. Unfortunately, the DOL didn't give us all that we asked for. They did release a final regulation which does extend the effective date, but only until April 1st of 2012. And it still remains to be seen, frankly, what will be in that final regulation and how much has changed and how much time we will really need. The final regulation was sent to the Office of Management and Budget on July 22nd. Which means the OMB has 90 days, which should put it into October before we'll see the final regulation. And it remains to be seen whether that will include a mandate for a summary. That certainly is something we are all anxious to see, as well as any other tweaking in that final regulation. The DOL also extended the transitional rule for the participant level fee disclosure requirements under 404A of ERISA. The transitional rule for those regulations, the initial disclosures to participants will need to be made no later than 60 days after the effective date of the 408(b)(2) regulation, or if later, 60 days after the effective date of the 404A regulation. That regulation is still effective November 1st of 2011, but with this transitional rule and knowing that the 408(b)(2) reg won't be effective until April 1st, the earliest date the initial disclosures will need to be made will be by the end of May in 2012. In addition, there is further guidance in the regulation on the quarterly disclosures. The first quarterly disclosure will be due 45 days after the end of the quarter in which the initial disclosures are required. Under the transitional rule, that means for calendar year plans, that initial quarterly requirement under 404A, that notice won't be due until August 14th of 2012. We'll continue to monitor the final regs as they come out and keep you apprised of any changes in those regulations.